There are songs on this album that I've called from the vault tracks, because in my mind there's a metaphorical vault of songs that I love. That I write a lot of songs for albums and then I pare it down. But
Taylor Swift is the first and still the only artist in Grammy history to win Album of the Year 4 times. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4. And somehow, she keeps making it look effortless. But how did she get here? What do those 14 Grammy wins really represent? And why do her 58 nominations tell an even bigger story than the trophies themselves? Let's unpack the magic, the milestones, and the moments that turned a teenage country singer into one of the most decorated artists of all time. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end. Before Taylor Swift, winning Album of the Year, even twice, was considered legendary. Artists like Stevie Wonder, Frank Sinatra, and Paul Simon had reached that elite club. Then Taylor showed up and quietly said, "What if I did it 4 times?" Here are the albums that made history. Fearless, 2010. 1989, 2016. Folklore, 2021. Midnights, 2024. Each album didn't just win. It defined an era. Different sounds, different aesthetics, different versions of Taylor, yet all undeniably her. What's wild is that these wins spanned over a decade, proving this wasn't a lucky streak. It was consistency, reinvention, and storytelling at its finest. But how did it all begin? Let's rewind. Fearless, 2010, when a teenager shocked the world. Taylor Swift was just 20 years old when Fearless won Album of the Year. At the time, critics questioned whether a country pop crossover album could really stand up against industry veterans. Songs like Love Story and You Belong With Me weren't just catchy, they were cultural moments. High school hallways, car radios, and bedroom speakers everywhere echoed with lyrics that felt deeply personal yet universally relatable. Why it mattered? Taylor became the youngest artist ever to win Album of the Year at the time. Suddenly, she wasn't just a promising newcomer, she was a force. And if you think that win was a fluke, well, Taylor had other plans. This was a bold move. Leaving country music entirely? Risky. Reinventing her sound, style, and public image? Even riskier. But Taylor didn't just dip her toe into pop, she owned it. With chart-smashing hits like Shake It Off, Blank Space, and Style, 1989 became a pop culture juggernaut. The result? Another Album of the Year win, making Taylor the first woman to win the category twice. What made this win special wasn't just the music. It was the message. Artists can evolve and still succeed. But just when everyone thought they had Taylor figured out, she disappeared. Folklore, 2021, the surprise album no one saw coming. This album was different. Indie-inspired, story-driven, subtle. Songs like Cardigan, Exile, and August felt like pages torn from a novel. Fictional characters, imagined heartbreaks, and whispered emotions. Critics were stunned. Fans were hooked. Album of the Year, again. With this win, Taylor tied legends like Frank Sinatra and Stevie Wonder, but the story wasn't over yet. Midnights was introspective, vulnerable, and emotionally raw. It explored late-night thoughts, the kind that keep you staring at the ceiling, replaying conversations from years ago. Songs like Anti-Hero and Lavender Haze resonated instantly. And then the Grammys happened. When Midnights won Album of the Year, Taylor Swift became the first and only artist ever to win the category 4 times. Taylor Swift has won 14 Grammy Awards, spanning multiple genres and phases of her career. Her wins include Album of the Year, Best Pop Vocal Album, Best Country Album, Best Music Video, Song of the Year nominations, yes, multiple. What's remarkable is the range. Country, pop, indie folk, alternative. Few artists manage to be recognized across so many categories, and fewer still win. That means year after year, album after album, song after song, Taylor Swift's work keeps being recognized at the highest level. Not every nomination turns into a win, and that's okay. In fact, it's part of what makes her journey relatable. Because isn't that life? Sometimes you win. Sometimes you're just in the room. And sometimes being in the room is the victory. Taylor Swift's 4 Album of the Year wins aren't just a statistic. They're a reminder that evolution, courage, and creativity can coexist. She didn't stay in one lane. She didn't play it safe. She trusted her instincts, even when the world questioned them. And that's why her Grammy story isn't just about music. Which Taylor Swift album do you think deserved Album of the Year the most? Was there one you felt was overlooked? And do you think her 4-win record will ever be broken? Drop your thoughts, share this with a fellow Swiftie, and keep the conversation going because the story of Taylor Swift is still being written.